One of the biggest takeaways of Operation Sindur was the success, the resounding success of Make in India weapons. The Akash missile was the standout weapon of Operation Sindur, and I have someone very special joining us a day after we have successfully tested Akash Prime. Akash Prime. Let me play the video of Akash Prime testing in Ladakh at 15,000 feet, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the video. Take a look at it. The video of India successfully validating its upgraded Akash Prime surface-to-air missile. In challenging high-altitude conditions in Ladakh, it's destroyed two high-speed unmanned targets at 15,000 feet above sea level. Now, this is no ordinary feat. To speak about Akash Prime, Akash technology, I have with us today Dr. Prahalad Ramarao. He's a key architect of India's Akash surface-to-air missile system. He's led the integrated guided missile development program under Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He's played a huge role in the design, development and induction of Akash into the Indian Armed Forces. Dr. Prahalad Ramarao, thank you for joining us once again here on republicworld.com.
Thank you, Niranjan.
Akash Prime is here, and we've seen the kind of comments that have been made in the last few weeks and months on the need for more and more made in India, indigenous weaponry, technology, missiles. When you look at Akash Prime, how far have we come, sir?
One thing we are very happy, and it is our strategy that when Akash was already being used, it was given to the Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and it was showing good performance. We took the decision to do Akash Prime. That is, how do you go ahead with the improved version of Akash, better version of Akash. And this is a good strategy, that there is a possibility of continuous improvement of a product. In probably every few years we bring out a new innovation, new improvement, new software, new hardware, many things we can do. That way we launched the Akash Prime, and knowing fully well that Akash itself is meeting all the requirements, but we said let us customize for specific roles where Akash Prime will be giving a slight edge than Akash alone. So this is how we started. I am happy that it has been tested by users at the most stringent conditions, and it has worked well. I am very happy with it, and our dream, also our strategy has worked out very satisfactorily.
You spoke about the edge. How big is this edge when you have Akash Prime intercepting two targets at high speed successfully?
See, the edge is, there are certain geometries where, see, the Akash will be going surface to air, and the target from the adversary is flying into our territory. It can come from different azimuth directions, different elevations, and also at different speeds. This is expected. Akash is anyway working. But suppose you have a hilly terrain. Then naturally over certain particular azimuth and elevation, you may not be able to see the adversary's image or radar image. You can't see, radar reflection you cannot see. Then you have to require to take a very unique trajectory for that particular target. There you need a small edge so that you will go more accurately, and we may like to hand over the certain last second activities to the missile itself, instead of guiding from the ground-based radar. Normally we are guiding the missile from a ground-based radar till the missile intercepts the target and explodes the warhead so that the target gets destroyed. This is normally condition. But in the prime case, what we do is, we will allow the missiles seek the target by itself. So it will be more accurate during the terminal phase, and even though the ground-based radar cannot be seeing the target all the time, the missile will see and go and intercept. So it becomes some sort of autonomous, and there's a seeker, a RF seeker to do the job, and that will ensure that under all circumstances, the edge will be giving you superiority so that the target cannot escape or hiding behind a hill or trying to go low suddenly. Such situations we can combat very successfully. And fortunately, we are able to do a proper system engineering so that the same missile with the same length and size and weight is able to handle the RF seeker also, and the same launcher can carry the missiles, whether Akash or Akash Prime, it can carry the same missile, and the user will have the total freedom and flexibility to load a launcher with a mix of Akash and Akash Prime, and the onboard or a ground-based command center will take a decision. It can take autonomous decision or a commander-induced decision to use either Akash or Akash Prime, because the same protocols are there, and this gives a hell of a lot of confidence, flexibility, customization for the Army or the Air Force who want to use this Akash and Akash Prime. They are the same breed, they are from the same breed. Each has one has slight edge, another, and of course, as you can understand, Akash Prime will be, because of that small edge, it will be little expensive, and Akash will be little lower cost. That's it. Otherwise, it is a beautiful piece of engineering work.
So it's essentially what you would call a fire and forget sort of a missile. You fire and you forget, it seeks itself and it will destroy its enemy. Now, why I want to talk about this is there are very few successful, tried and tested missiles of this category in the world. BrahMos, tried and tested as recent as Operation Sindur, spot on, every hit was a success. Akash has been the second success story of Operation Sindur. So now you have a combination of BrahMos and Akash Prime. And the fact that we have tested this in Ladakh, what is the strategic message that we have sent out, Dr. Ramarao?
The message is, we are, what we say, Akash Hamara Hai. This is our tagline. That is, the entire airspace belongs to us, to Bharat. And nobody can enter the Indian airspace by hook or crook, by going high altitude or sneaking through valleys. It cannot enter our territory. So strategically, it gives us double confidence that we are sealing all the small little gaps when the adversary may try to harness it. We are going to seal all those gaps, and with a very little additional intelligence input and additional technology input, we are able to achieve this. And I am happy that the team which has worked for Akash Prime in Hyderabad have brought out this in a very, very short time and very successfully.
Yeah. Is the message specific to China, the fact that we tested it in Ladakh? I know you're a scientist, you're not a strategic affairs expert, but obviously these questions would have been in your head when the Akash missile was developed, isn't it?
I know. Correct. You are right. When we saw the battle fields, especially north and a little northeast side, we found the terrains and territories are really very not user-friendly. It is really very rugged terrain, a lot of hills and valleys. So what we wanted to do is reduce the number of ground systems required to achieve the same effectiveness. So we intelligently and with a proper system engineering, we reduce the number of ground vehicles that go along with the missile and the launcher and the control center. We reduce the number of ground vehicles. It becomes more mobile, it becomes lighter, and it will be better maneuvering. So for a very rugged terrain, that's what we face in the Chinese side, this will be more appropriate. This is what we did, and so it is the ground system has more agility, better agility, and the missile has more, what do you say, fire and forget features. Fire and forget features. It will be on its own autonomous self-homing missile will be there in the last few kilometers. So this happens. So strategically and logistically, it gives a hell of a comfort for the users to use these systems in the north and northeast terrains.
Yeah. Recent few days, we've heard the Chief of Defence Staff stress on indigenous weapon systems. Of course, he made a reference to even Akash, the success of Akash. He spoke about drones, the fact that we need completely Indian drones, because there was an entire ecosystem that relied on Chinese spare parts somewhere or Chinese technology at some stage, right? But now we know the dangers. When you compare Akash missile system technology to the best of the systems worldwide, where do we stand?
We are number one. I'm sure in the class of medium range air defense, surface to air missile system, we have the best, and we made it customized for the Indian Army, Indian Air Force. We are the best, developed at the much lower capex. That is, the investment is nearly 1/10 or 1/15 of what would have been done anywhere else, and the cost of the missile per missile is also about half the cost. So it is a dream for Make in India. It is a dream what we got the direction from Honorable Prime Minister, and we put all the effort to make sure it is Make in India, make frugal, fast and frugal. These missiles are fast and frugal. This is the benefit we are giving to the country and also to our users.
Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the development of this? You spoke about developing it at a fraction of the cost, 1/10 of the cost, right? When you compare it to the missile systems across the world, how cost effective is Akash with the rest of the missile systems in the world?
See, if you, if you can, you can take the data that has been made available in the media. That is Akash. We spent about nearly rupees 500 crores for the development of Akash missile system, including the engineering and also establishing the production line at Bharat Dynamics and Bharat Electronics. Including that, we spent about 500 crores. And if any other country like USA or Europe or Russia, I give figure, I remember a quote or whatever it is. We are talking 500 crores, and that will be at least 15,000, 20,000 crores.
Wow.
That is the order of difference between our capex and their capex.
Absolutely fantastic, and that's the amount that was given to you to develop the Akash, 500 crore.
The only thing is, in that 500 crore, the salary part goes to the government treasury, so that money is to be added if you want to add. Our salaries are not in the 500 crore.
Understood. No, I don't think you even get some missiles for 500 crore. Some of the best global missiles, you won't even get one for 500 crore. I was just looking at the prices of these missiles, right, in the market. You developed an entire missile system with just 500 crore, which is fantastic. So let me ask you a curious question. I mean, if our viewers are watching, how much will a Akash or Akash Prime missile cost today in the market when it is acquired?
I don't know. Because these missiles, see, what we do, we give the technology package. Our missile cost is decided between the Ministry of Defence, Secretary Defence Production, Bharat Dynamics Limited, and Bharat Electronics. They are the custodians, because their costing is not known to us. We know our costing as a development unit.
Okay.
But Bharat Dynamics, they have their own method of estimating the costs. And I think it is not right for me to quote a number. These numbers are controlled by Ministry of Defence, Secretary Defence Production, Bharat Dynamics.
No, I won't push you on that. Dr. Ramara, I won't push you on that. That was not my intention, because I know you're a scientist. It's not your job to declare numbers. But the reason why I asked you that question is because I wanted our viewers to know the marvelous feat that all of you have achieved at DRDO, right? You've developed a world-class missile which is the best in the world today, right? Short-range, surface-to-air missiles, the best in the world, and you developed it at a fraction of the cost of what anybody around the world would have done, right? Maybe 1/20th, 1/50th, 1/100th of the cost. And I can safely put my neck out and say it is also one of the most affordable missiles today, one of the cheapest missiles to acquire. So in terms of the development, fraction of the cost, acquisition cost, extremely less. Of course, going forward, the opportunities are many because India will want to at some stage, right now we are looking at self-reliance, but at some stage, countries will come to India and say, why don't you sell that system to us? And that's where the opportunity lies. And we're already doing that with many missile technologies.
Yeah. That's right. See, two things I want to add, Niranjan. One is, it is not a short range, it is medium range.
Medium range, sorry.
Is less than 15 kilometers. This is what up to 40 kilometers. This
Yeah.
is medium, number one. Number two is, you are right, the production cost, acquisition cost, then what is known as a lifetime cost. That is, you keep the missile system with a country for 30 years. So for 30 years, you have to maintain, you have to train the people, you have to keep the technology upgradation if required, and also customization for that particular user if required, and these all will cost incremental cost. And this cost, or also if you add the life cycle cost, what they call life cycle cost, it will be really extremely attractive for any country to own Akash missile system and keep it for 30 years.
Yeah.
And it will be life cycle, lifetime cost, including, you are said right, that is the capital cost is low, the unit cost is low, and lifetime product, lifetime cost also equally very competitive, very low, very attractive.
Yeah, and one of the biggest takeaways post Operation Sindur, I have seen the kind of purchasing powers that the government has given to our armed forces, to the Navy, to the Air Force, to the Army to acquire as much as is needed. And I've seen those numbers. Of course, I wouldn't like to talk about those numbers, but rest assured, I know that that amount is sufficient to arm them to face any Army or Air Force or Navy in the world, right? And this missile system is going to change the way we look at our adversaries. What is your assessment? How long does it take? Do you think they have enough? What is the, I'm sure, even though I don't know whether you're still associated with the project, you won't tell me much, but I'm sure in some way you're advising them. What is the kind of demand that is there from our forces?
See, we took nearly 15 years from the day we got the fund sanctioned to us and the day we handed over to the Army, we took 15 years, Army, Air Force.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you go through the cycle, same cycle for any other countries, like a Patriot you take, you will be surprised, it's the same order of time. Number one. Number two, when we had made the Akash Prime, we just took not more than 3 to 4 years. We made Akash Prime. See, that is the strength Indian industries, Indian public sectors, Indian designers have acquired. That the first time they took 15 years, second time they made the next version in just 3 to 4 years. So this is the benefit the country has got, and I'm sure many industries, military industries in the world would like to come to India to harness the strength that has been established with Indian companies, Indian scientists and technological experts.
Yeah. Can I ask you a little bit more about the development of Akash Prime? And at what stage did you decide to look into the development or the need for an Akash Prime? When did that idea hit you? And were you still with the project back then? Were you still heading that project?
No, I was there in the initial design phase. I was there.
Yeah.
And design phase, we said we will include an RF seeker, because in the Akash missile is not having RF seeker.
Yeah.
But it is like everybody likes to have a seeker, because though we have said that Akash will give the required accuracy, required single shot kill probability, much lower cost. But everybody said, no, I would like to have a seeker, because it is like a, people like to have a seeker for any, like what you said, fire and forget capability.
Yeah.
Over the hill, if somebody comes and tries to fly under the hill, how do you get it? Then you need a fire and forget capability, I agree. So, fortunately, because our missile program has several projects, not only Akash, there is a surface to air, we are working, longer surface to air, many air defense programs we are working, air to air missile program we are working. So, we are exposed to have the technologies from our other programs, missile programs. Thanks to Dr. Kalam, he initiated all the missile program. This is a cross-fertilization of technologies from, say, air-to-air missile, other surface-to-air missile, bring it to Akash quickly and see that a need of the user is met at the shortest time. That's what I call fast and frugal. We could do that.
You speak about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, right? You look at every milestone that we've had in our scientific journey, and I was speaking to someone who was behind also the LCA Tejas a few weeks back, right, on this podcast. And he remembered Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam saying very famously that, thank God sometimes the Western countries put sanctions on us because India was able to develop its own indigenous capability because of those sanctions. And you just spoke about, and when you mentioned that, APJ Abdul Kalam,
you're right.
Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam opened up all these programs, and thanks to him, and we can't thank him enough, if we are safe today and if we've sent the world a message, big thank you to him. We should thank him for initiating these programs. Many people forget, sir.
No. See, the moment I saw on the TV a success of Akash, the first person I remember Dr. Abdul Kalam. Because he would have jumped with joy to hear it. And he is the one who coined for all of us, strength, respect, strength. Show your strength, people will respect your strength. So we all work for that. He's a very good spirit. And he is a frugal man, all of you know. So we got imbibed from him frugality and efficiency and also hard working. Extraordinary, if you want to achieve extraordinary performance, you have to put in extraordinary input. Yes. You can't put ordinary input, get extraordinary output. We all learn from him. You put in extraordinary input, automatically the output is extraordinary. Out of the world. So this is all we learn from him. So I thank him. I remembered him almost. I told my wife also when the TV showed, I could speak for a couple of minutes. Then she said, "What are you feeling?" She said, "I wish Dr. Kalam was here."
Fantastic, sir. So happy to hear you. And finally, one last word. If you had to summarize in 30 seconds how Akash Prime is going to change the game, because I wanted to talk specifically about Akash Prime with you today, because you've been one of the architects of this program. How is this going to change the game for India in the years to come?
See, I am very happy and proud that Dr. Kalam developed a team with people like me around. I developed a team with me, people younger to me and more, probably some of them more competitive than me. I developed a team. And this team is integrated and strong even after I come out of my government service. The team has done a wonderful job and made Akash Prime quickly, assembled it. I only got it reviewed, but they assembled it, made it, tested, and went to all sorts of territories and showed. So I think we have developed an ecosystem, layered, like you were saying, layered defined. There's a layered ecosystem. Top layer with Kalam, then we are there, next layer, the next layer is ready, they will create the fourth layer. So layered technology development and establishment has taken place. I think we all owe that to Dr. Kalam, and our responsibility is to generate the next level of leaders to take over from us, and they will develop the next level when they have to come out. This is the layered defense, this is a layered competence development.
I know a little bit about scientists because I have a few friends, because I was born and brought up in Bengaluru. A lot of my friends were, I was lucky to have friends who parents were in the DRDO, right? So I've come there. I know exactly how they live, how frugal each of their lives are. These are scientists, and very, very rarely do they get credit for the kind of work that they do, the kind of efforts that they put in. I'd like you to say a few words for all those scientists, those unsung heroes whose names never come out, rarely come out, but the minds and all those people behind technologies like BrahMos, Tejas, Agni. A word for them, sir.
Yeah. See, I want to tell all my scientist friends who are across the world, thousands of them. I myself had 1,000 scientists working for Akash, and I also handled nearly 1,000 people working for BrahMos as a program director, which was there. But I want to tell you, the government, please do not expect the government to recognize you and appreciate you and give you shabash. But your goal is, I remember, be a nationalistic. You are doing for the country, for Bharat. You keep that as your goal. Don't worry about what I am getting, when I will get the next promotion. You say, I am doing something for the country which will remain long after I go. Once you have that kind of a nationalistic feeling, you would not have to worry about who has appreciated, who has given me shabash. No, not required. So this is what I will say. But I also want to tell the government also, please have trust and confidence in your engineers and scientists and industries. Please have them, and then once you give your government gives the trust and confidence and support, I think it will be a synergy. The whole country will be bubbling with energy, bubbling with synergy. We should see them, each other we see with respect. We see the government with respect, government will see us with respect. Then what happens? The synergy takes place. This is what is required. I think it is somewhat shaping. I think now we are now come to such a stage that we both appreciate each other and the synergy will build better and faster.
Thank you so much. This last part of the clip, I'm going to cut it and send it to all my friends in CV Raman Nagar. Thank you so much, Dr. Prahalada Ramara, for joining me on the podcast today. Thank you.